Yeah.
Journey to the moon.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just talking about throwing around some different intro ideas, and I think the best one we've landed on is just normal people doing different things,
Yeah.
which is all we are, normal people doing something different. With that being said, we're back to talk about how to actually fit learning a new skill into your already busy schedule. Because obviously, we understand, we've been there, we've worked 9 to 5s, everybody lives a busy life, and it's not at the top of your list to learn a new skill, let alone actually finding the time to learn that skill.
Yep.
So I guess I just wanted to come to you, Ben, and really, can you lay out for us how you did it? So I understand you were working full time, 9 to 5, as a refrigeration mechanic. Like obviously that's 6, 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yep.
Like how did you actually fit learning a new skill like high ticket sales into your already busy schedule?
And when you first get started with learning and you get this influx of ideas and inspiration, all you do, all you think about, all you want to do is just study this new course. I mean, when I first discovered online business, all day I'll be just checking my phone, searching, watching YouTube videos, I'll be driving anywhere, listening to podcasts. When you start anything new, you get that massive wave of inspiration, and it's all you want to do. It's all you want to focus on. So naturally, whenever you're starting that journey,
Yeah.
you're going to have that 1-2 week period where you're just purely running off inspiration.
Yeah,
And you want to learn that skill as quickly as you can. The most important part is you have to understand that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, certainly.
Transitioning from a 9 to 5 into online business, it's not going to be a 1 to 2 week journey.
Yeah.
Right? It might take you 3 weeks, it might take you 3 months before you can fully transition from a 9 to 5 into something like high ticket sales,
Yeah.
marketing, e-commerce, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever that skill may be. And I think that's one thing that gets sugarcoated or skipped over quite a lot by a lot of people you see online. Like they make it out like it's easy because in reality, like it's not.
No,
Like
it's
it is hard learning a new skill while you're still working. And then actually once you've learned that new skill, learning on top of that how to actually be good at what you're doing.
Yes.
Like by no means is it easy, but it's certainly worth it. And I guess on that as well, like when you set up your day, where did you actually fit in learning that new skill on a consistent basis? Because like you said, it's one of those things you can run off fumes for the first couple of weeks, but we all know it takes longer than that to actually transition into something new.
It does.
So like after those fumes burnt off, how did you set up your day so that you could consistently be learning these skills and actively looking to transition into high ticket sales like you have?
Personally, I was extremely hungry for change. I had my sights set, like I mentioned in the last video. I had my why clearly planned out. I could see where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Now this bridge was starting to get built.
Yeah.
The hunger I had inside of me to make a change in my life was ginormous. When you're in that phase, you find it very hard to sleep.
Yeah.
Our brains at the moment still struggle to sleep. Ideas bouncing off of the walls. You're always thinking. You're always just coming up with new ideas. How can I do this? How can I do that?
Yeah.
That all started when I first discovered online business. Like a new part of my brain just went poof, just activated.
Yeah.
The way I fit it into my day was get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, try and do at least an hour, 2 hours of just studying a course, watching a YouTube video, doing the research. Obviously work, you're gone for most of the day. Personally, I was doing a lot of driving.
Yeah.
30 minutes into town every morning, 30 minutes home. I would use up that time, listen to a podcast, listen to a YouTube video, just absorb information. None of this rap music bullshit.
Yeah.
Watching anime, listening to the news, the radio. That, number one tip, if you want to stay broke, listen to the news, listen to rap music. If you want to actually make a change in life, you've got to think of your inputs. Are you inputting the right information?
Yeah,
Use
certainly.
up as much time as you possibly can. So I do an hour, 2 hours in the morning of learning the new skills, studying as much time as I could throughout the day. There was 2 to 3 months where I didn't go to the gym, I didn't exercise.
Yeah.
Just come home 4 or 5 o'clock, all the way through till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just study. When you're that hungry and you're that determined to make a change,
Yeah.
time is just this thing that just evaporates.
Yeah, certainly.
Holy, where'd that time go? Because
Yeah.
you're so passionate. But that was it, and then the weekends would just be fully devoted to it.
Yeah.
When you have that hunger and that drive, I think it took me about, personally it took me 2 weeks before I landed something. I landed a role in high ticket sales, and then I pulled the pin, which I don't recommend doing. I went all in. I dropped everything, went all into high ticket sales, and that's what I did. Personally, what I'd recommend is actually working it in until it's safe and you've got an income, so then you can transition out.
Yeah, and you are certainly one end of the spectrum, and I was very similar to how you are. But then there's also the other end to that as well. Like, we understand that people live different lives, different schedules, all of that. People have different responsibilities, and that's completely fine. And the other way you can go around that is, and why I put a big emphasis on consistency.
Yes.
If you sit down and actually write out what you have to do, schedule your time, you actually find a lot more time than you think you have. Like, download a calendar on your phone, write it down in a diary, get a whiteboard in your room. Just little things like that. You actually find that you have a lot more time available to you if you just take out some of the things that aren't actually contributing to moving you forward. Like, for me personally, I was like Ben. I devoted all of my time to it, quit my job and went all in.
Yep.
But like I said, you can also be the other end of the spectrum where you can do it for, say, an hour a night before dinner.
Yep.
But like I said, it's just the consistency. You just keep doing that and you'll get to the same place we are.
Yeah.
It might just take a little bit longer. But like I said, that varies from person to person.
It does.
Which is completely fine.
Some people might not be able to just quit their job and go all in on. Like, we were in a very fortunate place where we knew internally, no matter what, it was going to work.
Yeah.
We have that belief that no matter what we do, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whatever we set our mind to, it will be achieved.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But some people could have that belief, but they might not be able to leave their job because they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? So they might not be as lucky as us. Well, not lucky, but in a position where they can just make that change straight away. Going back to what I said, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I think if you can just show up every single day, no matter what, it is going to happen. It is inevitable. If you never quit, you never lose.
Yeah.
And I think if you're getting into something like online business, high ticket sales, marketing, if you have that hunger and you have that drive, for me personally, I think you would resonate with this. It's almost like a slap. It wakes you up with this burst of inspiration. You start to realize how much time you actually have in the day.
Yeah, and how much time you've been wasting.
Yeah. Even just for a day, by the hour, track what you're doing. How did you just spend that last hour? I can almost guarantee you are scrolling. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you're wasting so many hours and minutes of your life.
Yeah.
Once you get that slap
Yeah.
and you get that wave of inspiration, you start to realize, oh my God, I have so much time in the day to put towards something.
And that's one thing that you'll realize, like we spoke about on the last video, once you have your why and you have a direction that you want to point, you'll actually feel bad for wasting that time because you know that it can go towards actually furthering what you want to do with your life. And I guess one takeaway you could take from it is just get off your phone.
Yep.
Like, do focused work, put your phone in a different room, because whether we like it or not, we're all addicted to our phones.
Yep.
And that's just the reality of it. So the work you can do, like say you work an 8-hour day, you could actually get that work done in 4 hours.
Yes.
If you were 100% focused for those 4 hours. But a lot of people just aren't willing to do that because they are addicted to their phone. Which is why it's important to find your why, like we spoke about on the last video, because it gives you that ground. It's the catalyst for actually making those changes.
Yep, it is. There's a thing called a dopamine detox. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've had to do 2 or 3. I've had to reprogram myself multiple times to get off of that fucking phone.
Yeah.
So addicted to it. If you're scrolling, if your screen time is more than 2 hours a day, maybe it's time to reevaluate, do a dopamine detox. It's hard, but you actually realize how hooked on that thing you are.
Yeah.
The number one thing that's going to hold you back from your success is yourself.
Yeah.
Self-sabotage is the number one thing that we do to ourselves to prevent ourselves from actually getting to where we want to go.
And on the flip side of that coin, what you can do to actually help yourself get to that next stage, and what we both did was get a mentor.
Yes.
that is absolutely crucial, and that's probably something that we'll discuss more on a different video. But having somebody to guide you and actually have someone to go to with your problems, which, mind you, they've already faced before, which is why it's so great to have someone with experience in your corner.
Yeah.
Because your problems aren't new, your questions have already been answered.
Yeah.
Like, it's all the same. Someone's done it before. It's just you need to hear it yourself.
Yeah, and I think there's a thing when leaving school in the workforce, when you're an employee, you just follow a set of instructions. You don't actually have to use your brain and think and create or form new neural pathways in your brain and figuring out problems. You just show up to your job, do what you're told, go home, and that's it. That's why finding a mentor is so powerful, because you are given an exact blueprint.
Yeah.
Here's where you are. Here's where you need to go. This is what you need to do to get there. It's the most streamlined process getting
It's so simple. Like, I think that's one of the main reasons I want to get it out there, is because it's so simple. You just have to put in a bit of work.
Yeah. You actually just have to make a bit of change, get a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I guess we'll leave you with that. Get a bit uncomfortable, and we'll talk a bit more on getting a mentor in a later video. But other than that, that's it, I think.
Happy with that.
Sweet. Peace.